Robert Deshaun Tractor Traylor, born February 1st, 1977, died May 11th, 2011. In basketball, there are many talented players, many superstars, and many Hall of Famers. But every so often, you get a generational talent that supersedes his peers and creates a vacuum where every team begins to look for the same type of guy, or at least a close version of it that they can sell, win championships with, and believe in. Throughout the 90s, we all know about Michael's dominance and how he not only made most players want to be just like him, he made teams make it their sole mission to draft the closest version they could find. The next Baby Jordan. But no one really came close until the greatness of Kobe was revealed. But during that time, there was another generational talent that also had his time of dominance and made many teams search in frenzy for the next him. No, not him. This guy. Baby Shaq. That's all you'd hear when a guy who had some size and played the center position showed any glimpse of possibly being his very own version. Tractor Traylor was one of those guys. The Milwaukee Bucks surely thought so when they made a draft night trade that basically swapped picks with the Dallas Mavericks. A pick that would turn out to be one of the greatest players of all time and a champion that played over 20 years in the league for a single team in Dirk Nowitzki. Tractor Traylor, who possessed a top 5 basketball name of all time by the way, just 7 seasons, never averaged more than 6 points, and is regarded as one of the league's heaviest players of all time. His name is also synonymous with the Michigan scandal that changed the lives of possibly hundreds of people, most notably Chris Webber, Jalen Rose, Michigan as a university, and Ed Martin, the name that started one of the biggest domino effects in the history of sports. He was a beast to his amateur days, then a few things happened, and most consider the former top 10 pick to be a bust in the NBA. Picked before 2 future Hall of Famers and an All-Star. Sadly, he passed away at just 34 years old in an apartment in Puerto Rico of an apparent heart attack while on the phone with his wife. Let's talk about 3 reasons he didn't see the same success in the NBA and what happened that led to his life being cut so short. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth. Let's get it, man. Robert Traylor is from Detroit, Michigan, and was a star for Detroit Murray High School. As a freshman, he was 6'5" and close to 350 pounds, with clear diet issues that although he wanted to be good, this would be a problem should it not be kept under control. His coach, Robert Smith, took him under his wing and made him join the cross-country team and had him run stadium stairs twice a week. By his senior year, at about 6'7", 6'8", weighed down to 280 pounds, he was a mismatch every time he stepped on the floor. Even more, he had an attitude and passion that was unmatched and sometimes surprised even his teammates, who knew him as the most gentle giant off the floor. He went on to become Detroit's Mr. Basketball, repeat as public league champions, and become a McDonald's All-American as a senior. Of course, after the Ed Martin scandal, all his high school accolades that year would later be vacated as if he was never there. What's up, guys? Become a patron now. There you can find exclusive workouts, move breakdowns, and tutorials to help your development in certain areas. Also, receive consulting each week with me where I help break down your game and build you into the player you want to become. Patreon.com/stuntedgrowth for more. Link is in the description. Enjoy the video. Stunt number 1, Baby Shaq. For real though. The first and probably the most important growth stunt for Traylor was the fact that at some point he stopped growing when he was right on the cusp of getting to a size where the Shaq comparisons could last. The thing that made Shaquille O'Neal who he was is that he actually grew into a dominant height and size that could translate on any level of basketball at 7'1". He had the same gentle giant nature as Traylor, except his size allowed him to literally move his opponents out of the way on the NBA level when he finally put it all together with his skills. At just 6'8", Tractor struggled against the same competition because he was in all actuality the size of an NBA wing player at the time, or four-man at best. With elite athleticism that could help you adjust and find some success, but leaping ability, or should I say elite leaping ability, was also something that never really developed for Traylor, putting him at a disadvantage on both ends of the floor. Leaving high school, he was highly coveted as a McDonald's All-American, but chose to stay close to home and attend the University of Michigan. Much has been speculated as to why he chose the program, and some say it was because of money allegedly given to him by famed booster Ed Martin, who later admitted to conspiracy to launder money and loaning close to $1 million to Michigan players, most notably Chris Webber, Maurice Taylor, and Tractor Traylor. Of course, a below-the-table activity of this enormity will most likely come to light, and Robert Traylor was a huge reason why. As a freshman, he was trying to find his way and wasn't yet the player he'd eventually become. During the season, a recruiting visit to Michigan by Mateen Cleaves turned history when a car the recruit was being driven in, along with Michigan players including Traylor, got into an accident, resulting in Robert breaking his arm, missing the remainder of his freshman season. The car they were driving raised suspicions as to how the student athletes were even able to afford a new Ford Explorer, and that set off a 6-year NCAA investigation that at the end may have caused Chris Webber and Jalen Rose both Hall of Fame considerations, seeing as their college records, accomplishments, and even participation was erased from the history books after an investigation and admittance by Ed Martin and, of course, Chris Webber. When Traylor returned as a sophomore, he became the team's second leading scorer and led them in rebounds. In his junior season, he dominated the boards and was again second on the team in scoring and took his team to the NCAA tournament, where they lost in the second round. Stunt number 2, weight issues. The second growth stunt, no pun intended, was Traylor not being able to stop growing in weight, not height. He was taken with the 6th pick in the '98 NBA draft and was already 300 pounds. That number continued to grow as his NBA career went on until it began to give him serious health problems, like in 2005 when he had to have aorta surgery that caused his new contract with the New Jersey Nets to be nullified after failing a physical. He had used this weight to help him gain space with his lack of height, and it's been good to him, even earning him a top 10 pick. But for whatever reason, maybe lack of discipline, so much free time on his hands, or not having the right structure around him that didn't act as enablement, he was unable to have the career he was expected to leaving Michigan. As a rookie, he averaged 5 points and a little over 3 rebounds. These numbers would basically stay the same when he was traded after 2 seasons to Cleveland, later Charlotte/New Orleans Hornets, and finally back to Cleveland in 2004, which would be his final stop in the league. He was just 27 years old and had only played 7 seasons. To be that weight and growing is a telltale sign that health-wise something is wrong, and in hindsight, it was. Yes, it cost him his NBA career, but later would cost a lot more. Stunt number 3, development at a halt. Like mentioned earlier, Traylor was still at the very young age of 27 when he played his final NBA game. For most players, this is the beginning of prime years. For Robert, it was the beginning of the end. Now out of the league, he ventured overseas and began his journey there. He had some success, like winning the Defensive Player of the Year in the BSN League in Puerto Rico, but it was clear he had a very bad food addiction that caused him to continue gaining weight, making it impossible for him to get in the gym and work on his skills with such low stamina. This also meant he wasn't available for much game time, which further meant not being in situations he could show his development. After traveling the globe from 2006 to 2011 while talking to his wife still in the States via phone in Puerto Rico, he collapsed and the connection cut off. She immediately alerted team officials who went to Traylor's apartment and found him on the bedroom floor, dead. His death sent shockwaves through the basketball world, and everyone that knew him began to send their condolences and show their appreciation for what they all remembered as the gentle giant that would give you the shirt off his broad back. All in all, Robert Traylor's story is unique because you rarely see players suffer because of size. Usually, it's able to be held under control and can work as a positive for said player. But in this case, it was really the biggest reason his career and life was cut short. He still had a special journey, and at the very least, his story will live on and hopefully help another player struggling with the same. My condolences to his family. Salute to Tractor Traylor. Rest in peace. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth, and I'm out. Make sure you follow me on twitch.tv/stuntedgrowthgaming if you want extra free content like me breaking down the day's highlights, moves, drafts, and past players or games upon your request. Let's chat and talk live, as it's easier to answer your questions than a place like Instagram where your messages tend to get lost. Follow me there, it's free, and we can connect instantly. Join the Discord as well to chat in-game. I'll leave links to everything below.